I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce you to your night project, which is in connection with your history project that you'll be getting soon also. What you're going to be doing for the night project is actually creating a book of Elie's 5 stages of grief. So this is the handout you have in front of you. So I'm just going to explain this briefly, and then I'm going to show you the actual website you're going to be working with and a sample of what one page would look like. So first, if you're following along with me here, Elie experiences all 5 stages of grief, including denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. He does not go through these stages in order, but he does experience each one. Your task is to track Elie's progress in his progression through these 5 stages of grief. So your first task, number 1, you must find 5 strong quotations that describe Elie in each of the 5 stages. So for example, you need to find one great quote that proves Elie experiences denial, and then you have to do the same for the next 4 stages of grief. So you must find examples of each one. Your second part, if you look at number 2, after you find each of those, you have to write 5 strong paragraphs that interpret the quotation and explain how that quotation you selected is an actual example of one of those experiences in the stages of grief that Elie experiences. So you pick the quote, you explain each one in its own paragraph, and then the cool part, you're going to visit, once you have all that information from 1 and 2, you're going to visit the website Tagxedo. What you're going to do here is you are going to copy and paste each quote individually into a new document, and you're going to create a visual representation of the quotation. Okay, so let me show you that. I'm going to show you that in a second. Once you have all 5 of those images done, you're going to create a cover, and then you put everything together in a book. So use color, be creative. So basically, you're going to have your cover and 5 pages to this Elie Stage of Grief book. Okay, so what I want to show you is the actual website Tagxedo, which you have right here. It's a pretty simple website. Just know that if you're doing it at school, you should use the PCs. So when you get to this site, basically what it is, and I'm just going to show you a picture of them, you can take an image and you can actually put in song lyrics, quotations, whatever you want, and it will actually move your image into the shape with the quotations. So I'm going to pull here up a Dalmatian, and it again does take a couple seconds, but I'm going to pull up a Dalmatian so you can see exactly what it looks like when it is complete. So again, I'm not sure where these words came from, but this person decided to upload a picture of a Dalmatian, and again, you can make out the vague outline of it. So it's a pretty neat website. If you saw when I was there, Michael Jackson's right here. There's different people. And there's a whole bunch down here. Bald eagle, different kinds of birds. So basically, the simpler the picture, the better the outline will come out. Because if you have a very complex picture, it's not going to be as clear. So again, the butterfly is very clear. So what you're going to do with this, if you go back to the home, you're going to create one yourself. So you click Create. In your packet, you also have a kind of a screenshot where I give you the explanations of this toolbar here, but this is basically what you're going to be using. So you can see, again, you can change the color of different things, you can change the theme, fonts, but basically what you're going to work with that's most important, you want to work with shape and then load. So I'm going to show you what to do with shape first. You can see that they have stock images. There's about 35, 40 of them. You want some image that is going to represent your quotation. So obviously, if you're proving that Elie Wiesel is in denial, you're not going to pick a soccer ball, all right? That's probably not going to be the best option for you. So if none of these fit, and they may not, what you can do is you can actually save an image from Google or Yahoo and save it to your desktop. And if you go here, add image, and right now we're in a free stage, so this is perfect. You click on add image, and I have already saved a couple pictures. Say I want to use this one for denial, the hand kind of saying, no, I don't want to believe it. I would click on it, and it's going to bring me a screen. So you see now this outline is the actual picture that I would use. So if I want that and I like that, then I would click accept, and you'll see it'll load down here, and you have to be patient with this. And that's my picture. It's still using the wrong words, but that's the outline of my picture. So again, not the clearest. You have to play around with the kinds of pictures you use. But then if I want to go and insert my own quotation, I would go to the load button, press load, and a box comes up where it says enter the text. Here is where you copy and paste each quotation. You do each one individually though. So just for an example, I'm just going to type different words. So again, just a couple different words, and then I submit them. And again, it will use this loading down here. And you can see that now, once I click out of this, it turned my words, and it will, again, do it as many times as need be to fill the space. It turned my words into the picture. So I have a visual representation of, someone with their hand out, but the words here also relate to the same thing that the picture would. So once you have this, and again, it's relatively easy to use, once you have the image that you want, all you do is save it. Save as probably a 1 or a 2 JPEG here, and it'll save right to your desktop or whatever file you save it in. And then you can see that I have some samples that I've already done here, and I will show you also. So it saves to my desktop, and then this is one that I did the other day in class with another quotation. So still the same image, so you can see how it saves. Then you can just take and copy and paste this into a Word document, or you can print it and kind of use glue and scissors to put the book together. But let me show you what one sample page will look like. Okay? So this is my sample for denial. All right? You can see that I put the quote from the actual book right here, and I cited it correctly. I copied and pasted the actual picture that I used here just to show you what it looks like. You don't have to do that if the picture is clear enough, but it does kind of help to serve as a visual. And then at the bottom, once I finish my Tagxedo part with the word cloud, then I write my paragraph underneath. So you can take a second and read that, but basically it talks about how that quotation up here about the Red Army is advancing and Hitler will not ever get to us. I talk about how Elie Wiesel and his family refused to believe that such hatred exists and that Hitler wouldn't come as far as Hungary to get them. And then again, I connect back to the fact that sadly that denial is what leaves them in the wake of such a horrible disaster. So really all three parts go together nicely. So denial, you have your quotation turned into a symbolic representational word cloud, and then I have my paragraph. So I would repeat this for the next 4 stages. I would assemble them in some type of book, whether you're stapling or doing some other kind of binding. And then I would make my cover that, again, that says something about Elie's 5 stages of grief. So be creative with this. Make sure you're picking out really strong quotations and that you get all of that work done ahead of time. So over the next week and a half, make sure that you're finding your quotations and writing your paragraphs, because by the time we get into the library, all you're going to have to do is make your Tagxedo and make your pages, and you'll be all set. This is worth a test grade. I will put this on Moodle, so if you need help, you can reference it again. But do a good job, and if you have any questions, please ask me.